Hello, I'm Ron Buster, and I'm here with another update for you. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about SEO. A lot of people watch the videos and they go, well, what is this SEO? What is optimizing a website? What's that all about? So, as a part of our 6-month diploma course here at the Computer Self-Employment School, we're going to teach you how to optimize a website and how to get it ranked in Google. But first of all, you probably need to understand a little bit about why. Okay, I'm going to take you through a little bit of, a few little screenshots that I've set up here or websites that I've brought up. Let's take a look at this. Now, if I were to do a local search, now you can do this in your own area. You don't have to look at what I'm doing, as far as where I'm doing it. You want to be able to understand that when you do a Google search, like I did here, lawyers in Minneapolis. This happens to be where I live. I looked for lawyers in Minneapolis, and if you notice, it came up with all these dots and all of these locations. Here's Ryan Gary, Minneapolis, Minnesota, criminal defense. Okay, let me show you a little bit here. There he is right there. Now, when somebody does a Google search, what they're looking for is a lawyer in their location, Minneapolis. All right. Now, when they do that, what happens is Google's going to provide this map right here, and they're going to show you these locations like that. Now, in this case, we call it the Pack 3. 3 businesses right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, Ryan Gary is number 1 under the map because of this. They have 5 stars, which is their reputation. People say they're good. Here, Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben, they have 5 stars, but they've only got 11 reviews. They have 25. We move down to Clausen, and he has no reviews, and he has nothing said about him, and yet he's in the Pack 3. So now we take a look at these little red dots here, and what those are, right there, these little dots, represent the other law firms that are in Minneapolis, right down here. You see, they're going to fall in under all of this. Here's Hansa Law. They haven't even claimed their website. They would be listed here if they had claimed their Google My Business. To start with, that right there tells me that I'm going to be contacting some of these red dot businesses to find out why they haven't claimed their My Business listing in Google+, and then I'm going to show them how, by doing SEO, search engine optimizing, I'm going to be able to help them get ranked right here. Because you realize that when somebody does a search right here, and this shows up, these are the businesses right here that are going to get 45 to 50% of all the calls that are going to go out. If I'm looking for a criminal justice attorney, I'm going to call them. If I'm looking for a law firm, now you say, what's the difference? Well, let's don't get into semantic. Let's just stick with the search engine optimizing. A law firm is a law firm right now. Attorneys, same thing as a lawyer. All right. But now go down here, and the very first thing under here is not Ryan Gary. So they've gotten onto this page, but they're not doing their SEO because Minneapolis Lawyers is outranking them. That's what SEO does. And we keep moving down, and here's another, Lawyers Find Law. Here's another one, Super Lawyers, Super Lawyers. These are not law firms, people. These are directories, Yelp, Yellow Pages. You know what that is. Legal Match. Here's Hansa Law, not even on the map above, and they're rated number 1 right here, but yet they're not getting as many calls as they could. but they're ahead of Yellow Pages and Super Pages, so they're doing pretty good. But now look, let's continue down here. Ramsey County lawyer, family divorce attorney. See this right here? That AD means that's a Google ad. They're paying to be on page 1. And yet, Haunts of Law, and I saw one more here. Where are they? Right here, Schwebel Getz. Now, they were up in the pack 3, and we still don't see, on page 1, underneath this, we still don't see Ryan Gary. All right, let's go down here, and if we go to page 2, now see what, the map's gone, but here's more ads. So we've still got all these ads we got to go through. People don't click on ads because that lawyer's paying to be on that page. They're paying a lot of money to be on that page. Whereas if we were going to work with a law firm of Winthrop and Weinstein, wouldn't they want to be on page 1? Skip this one. Oh, no, that's pretty good. Best Minneapolis criminal defense attorney, Ryan Gary. Remember them? They were back on page 1. Why aren't in the pack 3? Why aren't they on page 1? Kelly Walter. Why aren't they on page 1? I mean, this is perfect. Look at this. Best Minneapolis criminal defense attorney, zip code. That's identifies them right downtown Minneapolis. And look at here, right in their title, they put their phone number. I don't even have to look at their website. I can call them right from this listing. But people, they should be on page 1. All right, enough about the lawyers. Let's look at roofers. Minneapolis roofers, look at here. Now remember when we were back over here, when we did, let's get back to page 1 real quick. I want to show you the difference here. All right, here's, oh, now they've added the ads above it. Okay, now the ads have fallen in. Here again, you see, you got to go through all these stupid ads that these people are paying. If I clicked on that, that lawyer is going to pay probably $10 to Google for me to click on that because they placed them here. So that's why when people are here on the map and they're here, it's free. If you can get a business into the pack 3, it's free. Capital F, capital R, capital E, free. They don't pay anything to be there except they pay you to get them there. And once you get them there, they'll pay you to keep them there. That's what I talked about, getting paid monthly to work with these businesses in SEO. All right, back to the roofers. Okay, they do the same thing here. Look at all those ads stacked up on top. Yellow Pages, Perfect Exteriors, that's probably business. Minnesota Better Business Bureau. No, that's, if you know anything about the Better Business Bureau, they're just a bunch of scammers to me. Local roofing company. That's actually a construction company, so that's a good one, but they're paying to be there. Now, Kaufman Roofing, Sealer Roofing. Now, this surprises me because Sealer Roofing is one of the largest roofing companies in the Minnesota area, and yet they have no reviews. And Central Roofing, another big one, and only 6 reviews. Somebody is not doing their job here. But if you look here, you actually can just click on that link right there, and it'll open their website. Now, why is that important? Because once we have identified if there's a need, we can actually go to their website and check it out. And we're going to teach you how to analyze these websites to see if they're worth working with. All right? So much for their website. But you see, you can get there, or you can get directions if you want to go visit them. Now, we start under the pack 3. Oh, let's do this one. I want to click here. This is the rest of the roofing people below the pack 3. These are all listed. Now you see a new map shows up and they're all listed over here, but they're not in the pack 3, remember? All right, so what does that tell us? That tells us that if we went to these guys should be up in the pack 3. So should these guys. but for some reason, they're missing the boat. So that's what we do with our system, is analyze why they're not in a pack 3. Okay? Let's look at another one. Realtors in Minneapolis. Realtors in Minnetonka, Minnesota, I should have said. No map. Now, that's unusual, but I wanted you to see this because Google does different things the way Google wants to. Sometimes you're going to find the map, sometimes you're not. But when you find the map, you're going to find the pack 3, and as I showed you in that last URL, that's a lot of good information is being gathered on these pages to allow us to be able to know where to find clients to work with and how our training at the Computer Self-Employed School is going to allow us to then approach these businesses. Their emails are in these pages. Their phone number is in these pages. Now, you're not going to pick up a phone call in India and call the United States, but you can surely email them, or you can find them on Facebook, or you can find them in LinkedIn, and we'll get into that too. Those are more classes that you're going to learn. Here's another one, dentists in Woodbury, Minnesota. Again, notice the pack 3, map, pack 3. All right, so when you look down the list, now here it's a little bit different. You notice that there's no ads right here. These are actual dentists. So again, it's all up to what Google does for these dentists in Woodbury as to how they display them under your search terms. You see, when you do a search, if you're doing a generic search like I just did, this is a specific, this is dentist in Woodbury. This is a local listing that we want because we may be living in that market and we want to be able to find a dentist right close by because I've got a really bad toothache today and I don't want to drive all over town. If I live up in this part of Woodbury, I surely don't want to drive 30 minutes to this part of Woodbury to see a dentist. Okay, I'm going to call this one and see if they have emergency dentist available, right? Or I'm going to go to my local dentist and he might be out here. I don't know. Okay, so let's do this. Google. There it is. When you come to Google and you want to do a search, what are you looking for? Could be anything. Could be a dentist, could be a lawyer, could be a bricklayer, could be a plumber, could be a carpenter. It can be anything. But once we start the Google search, are we looking for a national brand, Amazon, whatever? Or are we looking for something local? Well, that's what this is going to do for us in doing a Google search. So when we start working with businesses, maybe it's a local coffee shop, and we're going to help that local coffee shop get onto page 1 of Google, or that lawyer or whatever. We're going to be doing their backlinks, and we're going to be doing submissions of articles that people are going to read about them. And when we do this, what happens is that we're actually telling Google that these websites have authority. So when we go to realtors in Minnetonka and we work with one of these realtors that are out there, or we go to a roofer and we tell people in our works that, you know, this is a good company to work with, and they have lots of backlinks, which is authority coming in, and we teach all this. But that's what gets them the 5 stars. That's what gets them the reviews. And you see, they're getting, this one right here has 4.6 stars and 31 reviews, and they're not in the pack 3. Remember that? That pack 3 was not right here. They're not there. And look at here, they have 2 reviews, and they don't even have, you know, the stars, and they're in pack 3, because whatever they're doing in their website and whatever they're doing for their SEO is putting them into the pack 3. And they still don't have any reviews. Maybe they turned them off. I don't know. But it's interesting to me, people, that they're there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and contact some of these other roofing companies that are not in the Pack 3 and find out if they want to be in the Pack 3. And if I get them in the Pack 3, which I will, I'm going to turn around and charge them $800 US a month to maintain that status. Why? Because 47 to 50% of the people that are going to come looking for a roofer are going to see those three right there, and one of those three is going to get a phone call. And usually that phone call starts right there if it's a roofing contractor. Roofing contractor. No reviews. Now, which one would you call? Think about it. Now, this is real. You come here, you find these three roofers. This one says they've got 4.6 stars and 21 reviews. You can look at the reviews, people. You can see what is said, good or bad. Then you can come down here and there's nothing here. And this one's only got 6 reviews and 3.7 stars. Means somebody said something bad about them to me, or didn't like the work, right? You can find that out. Now, if that's what I'm doing, I'm going to call these people and find out what their pricing is. Now, they might be way overpriced because, look, they're number one, and they can charge more because they got the best reputation right now on that page. And I happen to know these are the biggest roofing company. This is the biggest roofing company in our market. And why they're sitting here, I have no idea. None. It amazes me that they're even here after looking at the others. But anyway, this is what SEO is all about. It's getting ranked in Google so that people find you. We call that lead generation, and we'll talk more about that too, how you can actually help businesses get more leads. That's what drives businesses into the profits. You know, when you see a business that's failing, going out of business, it's because they don't have enough customers, enough traffic. They don't have enough money coming in the doors. That's what we're here to fix. So, until the next video, I wish you all a good day. Have a great day, in fact, because we're really gearing up for that next class to start at the computer school. Bye for now.